Ebony J, and welcome to Community Conversations on 1230 The Buzz, your talk station, 101.1 The Wiz and 100.3 Cincy's R&B station. Such a pleasure and honor to be here with you another Sunday morning. I love coming on having community conversations. If you've never been here before, this is where we're talking about all the real things that's happening out here in the community and how nonprofits are truly making a difference. And today I'm excited because I got Miss Candice in the building, Miss Candice Crear, who is here representing From Fatherless to Fearless. How you doing, beautiful?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's always a pleasure when we link up. Listen, since I've met this woman, she's been nothing but nice, so graceful, and every bit of knowledge that she has not had a problem with sharing it with me. We need more women like Miss Candice out here in the community. And I'm excited to have her in here because she is the CEO and the woman behind the brand From Fatherless to Fearless. Talk to us, Queen, about your passion. Like, where did the passion originate to start this organization?
Yeah, so my father left when I was 2 years old, and I lived with, that resentment, that bitterness, and that grudge, and took it out on several different people within our relationships, the way I chose to date, etc., and even the lack of friends that I had, really because of that trauma and that wound. And so that's how From Fatherless to Fearless, you know, actually spawned really from my purpose. But I didn't actually start the organization until 2016. And it started from Facebook Live interviews. I wanted to interview the women who were overcomers. I wanted to understand all these odds were stacked up against them. Tell me how you made it, because statistics say that you will not make it. And so that's how I started From Fatherless to Fearless, and it actually has expanded and blossomed from there. But yeah, started on Facebook.
Wow. Giving women a platform to talk about how they were overcomers. And then from there, you just, what we became this society of group of women who are overcomers. And now we're working and helping others.
Yeah, exactly. So it first started off with me focusing solely just on adult women, and it caught fire from there. I think that, the subject of fatherlessness is typically always talked about from the boys' point of view. Where us girls, we look at our fathers as our first, one that we date, the first one that's supposed to set that precedence. And so if they're not there, that type of trauma has a huge impact on who we are, who we date, how our relationships and our attitudes, etc. And so because of that, and it catching fire and it catching wind, that's how the organization really just progressed into actual business. And we converted into a nonprofit. And now we actually talk to adult women sometimes, but now we have totally really pivoted. And now we are really focused on teen girls in high school. So whether it's in school or right after school, we help these teen girls to understand that they have self-worth, that they have confidence, that is key to their decision making. So increasing that, but also understand that they're accountable for their own lives and that things have happened, and we give them that safe place to talk about it, but they got to take charge of their own lives to change the trajectory of what society is telling them that they will be. And so it's important for us to empower them, but also give them a place that is such a safe haven for them that they can talk about their issues right there during the school day while they're in school. And it's not something where we're like, okay, you got to take this test and, get these grades. We are really focused on their mental health and their financial health, their emotional health. How do we get them to be healthy in order for those grades to increase, right? For them to do that work, but also really focusing on how they live on an everyday basis.
How long have you all been around?
So since starting in 2016, just with the brand and Facebook, I have blossomed from there. We converted over to nonprofit in 2021.
So what was it like then with COVID? That means y'all experienced the COVID life. You experienced the business before COVID and after. What was it like?
I will say after COVID, definitely it is more of a huge, huge need, right? What happened with COVID is that everyone was forced, back home, right? And they were able to just be bunker down and look at all the emotional traumas within what is happening within their household, but also within their mind. I mean, we got time within our mind now to think about every single thing that we've ever been through, and we are getting re-traumatized over and over and over again. And so coming out of COVID, it was a huge, huge problem. And there was a really just a heightened need to go into these schools and help these women to succeed and change their mindset, and really help them to have a sense of that there is stability if you want there to be stability. There is peace if you choose it, right? But also that accountability piece will never go away. You are accountable for what you do in your actions, and you can't control anyone else's.
Period. And I think that's comes with healing, something that we just kind of learn.
Yes.
I can't be mad at anybody else. I only can be bad at me and what I can do. They did what they were going to do. That's them. And I just appreciate you saying that out your mouth because it shows growth. I think when you're coming from fatherless to fearless, it is you growing.
Yes,
One,
for sure.
accepting my father for who he is. I can't change who he is, what he did, what he's not going to do. But now I have to be different.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Now,
we have those heightened expectations, right?
you
Where
hear
we
me?
want our fathers to be so much more than what they can give us. I mean, they can only give us what they've been taught. And if they can't give us something, it's because they don't know how to do it. And,
It's not fair that we say that they, I got to be a villain sometime on this show, but it's not fair that they say that they don't know how to do it when we look at other fathers doing it. So
we
it's
look at other fathers doing it, that's because they were taught and accepted that challenge in order to do it, right? I think there's a few different aspects of that, right? Even if my father didn't do it, maybe my mother placed me around a mentor that did do it, right? So now I'm able to understand that type of relationship and I can reflect that. People take on that trauma so many different ways. And so when we have those types of relationships, specifically parental relationships that don't pan out the way we think they should, it's hard to grasp. They're supposed to be our map, our foundation, right? But at the same time, we always will have a chance. Everyone has a chance to bow out of life, right? Everyone has a chance to say, I wasn't dealt the right deck of cards. I was dealt twos and everybody else was dealt aces. They got the kings, they got the queens, and I'm over here struggling. My objective and everyone else's objective is to play the best hand that they have with what the cards that they got. And we can trade out cards by developing ourselves, by attending conferences, by being in counseling, right? We have a chance to develop ourselves and actually replace our cards that we've been dealt. But everybody still has a hand they have to play. And that's what we always have to understand. And couple that hand with actually influence, and couple that hand with making sure that we have forgiveness in our hearts to forgive people, right? And not harbor on to these types of emotional letdowns, and these disappointments. Then we can play the hand right and get ahead.
I swear you speaking right now. What is the mission overall from Father to Fearless, and how do you think it impacts the community?
Yeah, so we empower and equip women with absent or strained father relationships on their journey to healing and wholeness. And so what we say is whether your father has passed away, walked away, is in jail, or emotionally unavailable in the next room, we want to help you. And we impact the community specifically because of the statistics that we see. So they are 4 times more likely to live in poverty, 7 times more likely to have a teenage pregnancy, more likely to have behavioral challenges and commit crimes and be on alcohol, etc. All that is because we are acting out because we don't have the support, right? We don't have the support, the financial problem. We're living in a single parent household, and sometimes financial literacy is definitely an issue, but also it's the one income that we have, right? And so being able to be supported from all of those types of directions, I should say, from financial literacy to mental health to counseling, etc., we should be able to help you and surround you on all levels. And even if we don't specifically do it ourselves, our vision is that we are fatherless women's number one resource. So we will be able to lead you wherever you need to go. That's the most important thing for us. We want to support you no matter how and no matter what.
And we know the support is definitely a need because, oh my goodness, you named so many things: alcohol, poverty, these things that women are going through are the things that they're now going to commit. So I think, I mean, I still have to ask you this, like, what would you say is more so the important effects of fathers? Like, these things happen because we don't have our fathers, but how can it affect us to help us be better? Because we see the bad, but I know sometimes it can be good parts to it, right?
So one thing about us is that we are overcomers, right? As single moms, we're warriors. I think, but one of the biggest parts for us is that we need to be available for help. And also, you know, for ourselves, we need to help ourselves. We need to pour into ourselves. Like, we are overcomers, but also it can't be the straight down hustle and bustle all the time. Sometimes I need to be in somebody's office chair in the therapy room. Okay. Right. Let's just be honest. There's a huge stigma out here for counseling, but let me be honest with you. You need to be in counseling. Period. We need to be able to talk about what are we feeling? How are we feeling? This, 10-year-old, 14-year-old child off the chain. We need to be talking about that, right? We need to be talking about how can we influence our child's lives if they don't have a father? How can we get them around male mentors that are safe, right? Even if they don't have a father, and if you didn't grow up as a father, you can still change that trajectory by getting them around some male influences that will help them. We know what happens when the father is not in the picture, but we also know that that can change if we get a father or father influence around, an uncle, a brother, etc. But also just making sure that we are taking care of ourselves. That is an important piece. And 1,000% of that is healing.
Yes.
We have got to heal so we don't perpetuate any type of generational cycles, generational problems. We are strong women. I have no doubt about your strength. But honestly, things that we see as weakness, we need to be able to just reveal them out and say, it is what it is. Because everybody has challenges and we all got issues.
I love it. If you just tuned in, this is Community Conversations on 1230 The Buzz, your talk station, 101.1 The Wiz, and 100.3 Cincy's R&B station. I am Queen Miss Ebony J, in here talking with the queen herself, Miss Candice Crear. She is here representing from Fatherless to Fearless, okay? And her organization is here to make sure that our babies are overcomers, no matter what they're dealing with and how they're dealing with. Whether if daddy's in jail, daddy is absent, daddy is confused, daddy just can't do it right now. We understand that we can't pick our parents. Parents do the best that they can. And we are here to support the babies in their, did I say it correct?
Absolutely. These teen girls, they're being left behind. These teen girls, they're being left behind. And it's very, very important that we focus on these girls. I honestly believe that if we want to change the trajectory of the family, everyone thinks that it starts with the men, and we definitely commend the work of the boys. Of course, that's needed. But personally, I believe it starts with the women because they're the ones that actually having these sons, right? And so it's best that we take both, right? Bring them both to the healing place so that we can definitely change the trajectory of the family and make it whole. And that's what we're aiming to do.
It's just so hard, Miss Candice. We got generational curses that we just can't break, or it's just harder to break because grandma did it for so long, mama did it for so long, and now it's just so natural for me to accept this, or it's so natural for me to be mad at men. We all in part of the father haters club over here. Nobody's daddy been there, right. So how do we get out of that feeling?
Yeah, I 100% understand where it's been this perpetual cycle. You've seen it happen. But at one point, it's got to click that, okay, we can do this differently. I can do it differently. I've seen it done a different way. I don't have to do it this way. And I think we've been sold on this whole road where it's like, I've done this for the last 10 years. You're going to be this way too. No, you don't have to. You don't have to. And that's where we put the onus back on the woman and say, you choose what you want, but you choose your hard. Let me just say that. You choose your hard, because both paths are hard. Healing is definitely hard. Changing generational cycles, oh, that's off the chain hard, right?
Yes.
But you choose your heart, or you can stay like you are, and that's hard too. It's hard doing the same thing over there. It's hard being angry all the time, right? It's hard feeling rejected all the time. It's hard feeling like you're losing all the time. You choose which hard you want to play. But at the end of the day, one makes you better and one continues to make you bitter. And that's what is important. We need to choose the hard that's making us better and not the one that's just going to continue to make us bitter.
I need to get some kind of bombs because you just dropped them because it's the truth. You have to make a choice. And like you said, you want to change, that's going to be hard. And you want to stay the same, it's going to be hard because what you're doing already ain't working.
Right.
That's why you're working around mad upset. But either way it goes, it's about which path you want to walk in, because regardless, it's your future, it's your life.
Exactly.
And it ain't easy either side.
It's not easy. Neither one is easy.
I tell people I've been struggling with this healing journey forever, with dealing with so many traumas as a young girl, and then you become an adult, and then you're dealing with them traumas. And for a minute, I felt like I was at a place like, oh, okay, I'm healed. But then I learned, like, you never just all the way healed.
No.
You got to heal through this, then you got to heal through that, then you got to heal. Like, what the heck?
Healing is ongoing. It is not just an end path, right? How you know that you are healed from a situation is that you have an opportunity to get back at the person and you choose not to do it. I mean, if you really want to be honest, how do I know that I am healed from this specific situation? Pretty easy to know. If you got a good opportunity to get back at this person and you choose not to do it, sounds like you have surpassed the healing stage for me, and you're good to go. But it is a path that we must continue to choose. You know, healing is not a one thing and done, right? Even healing, even aligned with forgiveness, right?
Come on.
Forgiveness is another thing that's really a part of healing as well. But forgiveness is, I choose to forgive. There is no feeling that comes with it. Oftentimes people are like, it's a feeling. No, it's not. It's not. You got to choose. You got to say, I choose to forgive. And then you're going to have to remind yourself that you forgave last week. And then you're going to have to remind yourself again next month that you forgave. You know what I mean? It's a continuous decision, because if that person pops up, the situation's going to pop back in your mind as well.
Yeah.
But then you have to remind yourself, I forgave, and I forgave several months ago. So we're going to leave that right back where it was several months ago, right? That's what the healing journey is as well. It is continuous path, and it's a continuous reminder that I'm choosing this healing path, and I'm going to continue healing until I see no more residue from a perspective of that this still hurts me. Yeah. Now, one of the greatest things about healing and forgiveness is that we can tell our stories. And as many times as we tell our stories from the healing journey and continue to tell our stories, we're able to heal even more. When we're able to help other people, it actually helps us as well. Yeah. When we are able to tell those types of stories, but not bitter stories. I'm not saying your bitter Betty stories, right? This is the healing journey of what has happened to you and how you overcame it. Those are fuel for you, but they're also fuel for other people to really, extend that lifeline to others to say, I've done it, you can too. But also for yourself to know, like, man, I've come a long way. Yes. I'm not that person anymore.
Yes, I love it. Drop these gems. Now, I know that you have an event coming up and we got a little bit of time left. Tell us about the event, because we know you're always trying to raise money and doing different things so that way we can continue programming. Well, how can we support you all coming up, and how can we get more information?
Yes. So I'm so excited. We're having our first fundraising event. It's a 90s music trivia event. So we're gonna have a little fun, a little partying. It's at 3 p.m. at Oakley Kitchen on July 29th. The event is right there on Eventbrite. It's also on our website, which is from fatherless to fearless.org. You can check out the details, but you do have to purchase tickets, and we do need you to reserve your seat by July 13th, I believe it is. But I'm super excited. This is our first event. We need the community support to support our organization so we can support our girls. It's important that we really show up for them because we're going to have some of them there giving their stories and how our programming has helped them.
Yeah, so come out and meet some of the girls and see what the programming is like, see what the ladies are like. You know, maybe this would be a good program for your baby. Maybe you'll be a great volunteer for this organization. You never know. Come out, make the connection. It's definitely going down. Like she said, it's on Eventbrite. Get your tickets. And how can we learn more? Tell us the website to where we can go. You all are on Facebook and Instagram?
Yes, we're on Facebook and Instagram, from Fatherless to Fearless. You will see us there, as well as go check out our website, from fatherless to fearless.org. We have all kinds of details about our programming, what we do, why we do it, and who our partners are. It's all on there. And you can also donate if you choose to do so. We just appreciate being able to serve, but also be able to inform what we do and also how this is impacting our community.
If you're interested, head on over. We hope to see you on July 29th again at Oakley Kitchen. Come out, support the babies, okay? The only way we can keep this done is with your dollars, okay? So if you got it, make it happen. If not, spread the word so others can be a part. Thank you so much, Miss Candice, for pulling up on me and coming to talk about all the great things that From Fatherless to Fearless is doing.
Thank you so much.
Save our babies. We got to break these curses.
Exactly. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
No problem. From fatherless to fearless.org. Head on over, get more details. And of course, if you would like to be a guest, all you have to do is slide in my DMs at Miss Ebony J on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. I'm Queen Ebony on Facebook. And you can always send me an email to missebonyj@radio-1.com. This is Community Conversations on 1230 The Buzz, your talk station, 101.1 The Wiz, and 100.3 Cincy's R&B station. I'll be back next week. See you later.